15-year-old ninth grader whose dream is to go pro, dude. Fire me up. That's freaking sick. I'm struggling a little bit with balancing baseball and school. Some days, weeks, I don't even touch a baseball. Any advice on how do you balance school and baseball? So there's no correct way. So I was very fortunate to have an older brother who struggled in school, didn't apply himself. And I saw what that did for his baseball career. Like when he was in high school, very talented baseball player that, if he was a good student, could write his own ticket. So I saw that, we were 3 years different. So when I was a freshman, he was a senior. So I was seeing all that happen in real time. And I was just like, man, I just got to apply myself. And I was very fortunate to have that seeing it in real time. So for me, it was like, all right, well, if I want to accomplish the goal, right? So you have the underlying goal of going pro or making it into the big leagues or whatever. Like, what is it that's going to influence that goal, or at least put me in the best possible position to then accomplish that goal? And unfortunately, man, like school is a part of that. I know there's the outliers that will say like they didn't apply themselves in school and they got drafted out of high school and then they're in the show. Like, we get it, but put yourself in the best possible situation to accomplish your dream, right? To make your dream a reality. And that is applying yourself in school. Now, obviously, I think you know that. So the balancing act of baseball and school, I can relate to, man, because like I played baseball, basketball, school, had a girlfriend, like all these things that kind of take away your time for baseball. But here's my truth. And I thoroughly believe this to be true. If like baseball is your passion and you have this goal and you're super serious about this goal, then you're going to do anything in your power to do that. Like, you're going to do anything you can to make sure that dream becomes a reality. I'm not saying that you're, you are saying this and then might not like act upon it. I'm not saying that. I think, you reaching out to me shows me that you actually do want it. I will say when it comes to balancing all of these things, it comes down to time management and priorities, right? So like that was the hardest thing for me too in school, was like the priority aspect of it. And the biggest piece is probably like the sacrificing of everything, right? Like, you got to sacrifice a lot if you want to freaking dream big. You know what I mean? So when I was in school, like there was very rarely times I went out. I didn't go out. I didn't party. I didn't drink. Like, there was just things that I had to sacrifice in order for me to, like I said, put myself in a position to accomplish my dreams and, or my goals and make my dreams a reality and all these things. Right. And like, over time you might lose friends or whatever the case may be, but you got to do what you got to do. So again, there's no set like Y equals MC squared answer to this. I think it's honestly just understanding the sacrifice. And what I mean by that is like, if you have an hour window before a practice or something, you got to get down, you got to get your homework done. Like, you got to do those things. I was a procrastinator, but I was also OCD to where I am OCD to where I just couldn't go to school the next day, and not have completed what I was like the assignment I was given. So I'm fortunate to have that. I know not everyone has that. I know there's a lot of like procrastinators who wait to the last minute and whatever, but, my biggest advice to you, man, is just find a way to like balance your schedule in such a way that gets the things done that need to be done first. So, I know for me, when I was in basketball season, I had to get ready for baseball season. So it was like December, and I knew that the only time that I could throw at the park was after school while it was still light out, because it gets dark earlier in the winter. So it was like, okay, after school, I knew that my window from throwing was probably like 3:30 to 4:30. So I'd go up to the park and throw with my dad. Practice wasn't until 7. All right. So then from that 4:45 to 6:30 range, like that was my time to get homework done, because I knew if I waited, then, after practice at 9, it's like probably not getting anything done after that. Right. And then I set myself up good, I think, in school just to get stuff done because of, the break periods that you had. even doing homework at recess, or taking your lunch break to go into a classroom and do your studying. Again, like, there's a reason why there's not a lot out of all the human beings to ever walk the earth. There's a reason why not a lot of them have played in the major leagues or even just professional baseball, because it is hard and you have to make necessary sacrifices to be able to do that. And that's just the truth of it. So something that helped me with the motivation aspect of it, like doing homework, because like obviously homework sucks, and it was tough for me my senior year, like having to study and whatnot, and knowing like I was going to get drafted and like I wasn't going to apply any of this, I didn't need any of this, blah blah blah. But the thing that always kind of kept me going and kept the engine running was the truth that baseball is what I want to do, and school is going to influence me to be able to do that baseball at the highest level. It's just part of it. So when you have a dream, nothing gets in the way of that. And I think for you to just kind of be in the constant mindset of like, all right, well, if I want to turn pro, this is what I got to do. And it's crazy, man. I've heard so many stories along my journey of guys just doing really well in school and getting into a school that maybe just took them on as pure academic, and then next thing you know, they freaking walk onto the baseball team, and then 5 years later they're in the show. Like it's just putting, I know I say this all the time and I probably repeat myself all the time and whatever, but like the truth is you have to do everything in your power to put yourself in the best possible situation and position for you to accomplish your goals, right? And that's just part of it, man. Like, we're not always going to be motivated to do the homework, but if you're passionate about your dream, then everything else becomes a necessity for it to come into fruition. All right, man. So I know, again, I apologize, I can't give you like a written freaking schedule of do this, this, and this, but I know you're 15 and a freshman, dude, and it's so hard to think about being this intentional and this diligent. But try to do your best to manage your time, right? Like, write down, I remember being in high school and I used to love writing things on my whiteboard in my room, and I would literally write like my whole thing, my whole day, and it was like, all right, I have to find windows of time where I could do stuff. So, I was waking up an hour early so I can get some jump shots in the high school gym. And then it was like, all right, well, I'm going to sacrifice my third, what was it? After second period snack break, they called it. I'm going to sacrifice that so I can get 20 minutes of studying in or 20 minutes of homework in. All right. So I got to sacrifice going home for lunch because I gotta do this book report or whatever. And then it's like, okay, I have 30 minutes till basketball practice, or I have 30 minutes till baseball practice. Can I, get a chapter of the book assignment that I had to do? Like, it's when we get distracted from that things become harder, right? You get distracted, and I understand how difficult it is for you. Back in my day, dude, it was like we didn't have I got the iPhone, I think, right after high school, maybe during high school, my last year. But I can't imagine how tough it is for you with all the distractions and the Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all these distractions at your disposal. And it's probably super hard for guys that don't have, the practiced and trained willpower right now. So you got to set yourself apart, keep the main goal, and avoid as many distractions as you can. And that's the sacrifice, So best of luck, my brother. Let me know if you have any other questions, but I'm fired up for you, dude. I think you reaching out to me in 9th grade, showing your passion for it, speaks volumes, dude. Work hard. I know you will. Work smart. There's the key. See you, man.